Bare necessity, but simple bare necessity. Bare necessity, but simple bare necessity.
Hey there, it's Bree Bear and welcome to another video. Today we are going to be doing a flip through of my bullet journal so far this year. Now, most people just do a flip through at the end of the year, but you know what? Why not? So if you did not see my bullet journal set up for the beginning of the year, this is my journal. It is a Leuchtturm 1917 dot grid A5, and it is all Avengers themed, which was decided, of course, to coincide with the Avengers Initiative Reading Challenge. So I have stickers of some of my favorite characters on the front and back. Of course, unfortunately, I couldn't fit everybody on here, but some of my faves anyway. Alright, so flipping on into the front cover, I often have post-it notes hanging out in here for temporary use for different things. Right now I have a post-it with some of my upcoming books so that I could like scan through and choose what I was going to read at the time. I don't need it anymore, but it was useful, and it's actually not even up to date anymore, but you know, it was useful for when I made it. And then I have my Spider-Man sticker right here and my information for if it gets lost. I have my index, which is pretty sparse this time around because most of my entries have been for my monthly things. Not so much collections or anything that I would need to log separately. So then we move into the key. I did add in eventually, I don't think I started out with this when I did my first video, but I added in a media tracker key. So I have my regular key for my regular entries, but on my media tracker page, which is a monthly page that I do, it made it easier to have it actually listed here so that I didn't have to keep moving my key over every time I made my monthly page. So I added that. I don't know if I had this when I first made it, put the numbers for how many boxes across and how many from top to bottom. Flipping over, I then have my end of 2020, beginning of 2021 page. I also have my word of the year. I finally finished coloring this in. If you watched my last video on my journal, for some reason I forgot to finish coloring that in, but finally did that. So then we have my prayer page, which I have not kept up with quite as well as I should have, but I have at least a little bit. I do have some things to add back in here, but I'm running low on post-its on my dashboard of post-its in the back here, so I need to add some in so that I can get this back up to date, because I don't know, just for some reason this year I've been a little bit disheveled when it comes to keeping track of certain pages. Like, I don't know, I've just been a little off this year, okay? It's been a weird year. My journal somewhat reflects that, but not as much as I would have expected, I don't think. We'll see. This is my shopping list page. This is not up to date either, I don't think. It is close. No, never mind. Yeah, I think it's pretty close to being up to date at the moment. Moving over, we have my future log, which clearly I don't think I needed 2 pages for. So there you go. Maybe I'm gonna minimize it to just 1 page, and then if I need another one, then I'll add one in later on. Well, hi Sam. He just came to say hello. But I have been using it. I do think that the Alistair is plenty for me right now with what I'm doing. And with the way that my life is right now, I don't think I need anything more than this. So I think I'll just adjust it to be one side temporarily. And then eventually, if I need more room. If I run out of room, then I can add an additional page later in the journal for it. And it should be just fine. All right, so then I have my all the dates page, which I have been using. I still have a lot of things to add in here. I need to go back in. I started adding some of my family members, but I haven't finished doing that yet. So I need to go back and finish that up. Because I just hadn't gotten into adding in my extended family members yet when I first set it up, and I never went back to complete it. So then we have the Avengers Initiative Reading Challenge tracking set up that I created, and I still really like these pages. Even with the messy writing on top of it, I kind of am okay with it. But things changed over time, and when I originally set this up, we were doing one boss battle a month, but then we ended up doing a boss battle with each movie. So it kind of just shifted a little bit here and there, so it's not the cleanest. I clearly had to white out and change titles a little bit. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Obviously, I've missed filling in little bits here and there, and I haven't completely caught us up to July's yet. So I'll need to get that done so that this stays not blank. So then we get into January, and you can then see all of my character boards. So exciting. Okay, so in January, you guys saw this when I originally set it up, I believe, but basically I did pencil in my TBR books, and then once I used a book, I wrote it in pen so that I could see it clearly. So that's kind of how I have everything set up for all of these character boards. So in January we had Captain America, Iron Man and Hulk, Black Widow and Thor, Hawkeye and Fury. You know what? I'm gonna go back. I think you guys totally want to hear all the quotes that I picked. Okay, I don't know if you really do care to know them, but I did put a quote for each character. So I am, just for the fun of it, to add a little bit more to this video, a little bit more fun to this video. Okay, so we have, for Captain America, I can do this all day. For Iron Man, I love you 3000. Hulk, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Black Widow, I'm sorry, did I step on your moment? Thor, I am still worthy. Hawkeye, I see better from a distance. Nick Fury, I still believe in heroes. So then we have my monthly log, and I had extra space, so I added a sticker, and I put genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. Oh man. And I just kind of did like a pattern around it. I should probably extend that pattern a little bit higher. Maybe I should go all the way across. I don't know. But then I had my monthly log and my task list, which is not my favorite setup personally. I know that that's the original, but I don't have that many tasks that I would want to put on a monthly spread. So, yeah. Media tracker, and this is where before I had created the other setup, but basically I'm tracking what YouTube channels I watched, videos from, what books I read, what shows I watched, what movies I watched, and then also if I watched them with my family, with my dad, or with the Avengers read-along or watch-alongs words. So then this is my pensieve. So this basically, yes, I know I spelled it wrong, basically serves as a place to put my thoughts, kind of like the actual pensieve. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, then you know. I did end up changing the title of this just because I've had it the same for a while, and I decided that it was time to switch it up. So I ended up changing the title of this later on in the journal, but you know, I ended up coming back to these pages and filling in the extra space with other notes that are not for the current thing. So all of these notes from like from here down are like things that I did like towards the end of the month. All of these top ones, and then this bottom part are things like I came back to later on, and I had like post-it, and whenever I end up with like a bunch of post-it notes, I'll go back eventually and add them into my pensieve pages in the extra space, and that's kind of where I collect all of my notes. So when I go through all of my old journals, I'm looking through my notes that I've scratched down and ideas and thoughts that I've scratched down, so that I can then, you know, make more use of them. If I need inspiration, then I'll like go through these pages through all of my journals. So flipping over, at this point I was doing handwriting practice every day. I have not been doing that since. Whoops. I do want to improve my fast, you know, casual, sped up, like lazy, not lettering handwriting, because I can letter really, really well, but a lot of times I get lazy and I give up when I don't get something perfect. Then I just give up and I let it look not pretty at all. And that's why you see a lot of my journal end up, you know, with parts that are nice and then parts that are just like, oh, you quit trying. You can definitely tell that I quit trying a lot of times on certain things. That's why I end up running out towards the end of the month. I end up not filling in my trackers and stuff like that. You kind of get it, right? You get it. But I did do pretty well keeping up this month, actually tracking things. So yay that. I obviously didn't keep up with all the things, but I at least tracked them pretty decently. Or at least I came back towards the end of the week and was like, oh crap, I haven't filled in the whole week. Let me go back and see if I can remember. So this was a spread that I came up with for my job. I was starting out in a new classroom, and I thought I would try creating a spread specifically for my work stuff, like a monthly spread for my work stuff. There were just some things that came up, so it just didn't work out to where I could actually go to my own class until the end of the month anyway. But you know. Alright, so then we have some dailies, and at this point I did some big lettering for headers, the number of the date, and then a little old daily. And then I was putting like a character sticker on every spread. So each spread of dailies would get a sticker. So this one is just a Hulk, and I just put smash. Which I know that's silly, but like I let one of my kids pick out the sticker that I was going to put in here. And every once in a while when we're playing and stuff like that, I was like, I'll like have them show me a Hulk smash, and they'll go Hulk smash. And of course they're 3, so their voices are like so cute when they're trying to do that. It's so good. I love it so much. So here's another daily, and then I have a Captain America with I understood that reference. I don't like the look of these dailies as much as I wish I did, because I enjoy the process of them. And I know that they look nicer for other people, but for me, they're not that cute. And it's mostly because of my messy handwriting and also my laziness when I could letter nicely and I don't. So then we have a Thor, a one-eyed Thor. Alright, so then I have the movie list. So I made a list of the movies in order so that I had it on hand, so that when people asked me what the next movie was, I could answer them. Whether it was one of the hosts or a participant. So got that in here. And I've got a little Thanos down here. And then I have powers. So this became a running list for me to track what powers I have attained through boss battles, rewards, and through character powers, whatever. So I have a column for marking if I've used the power, marking where I attained the power from, so I would know like what I was talking about, and then what the information on the power is, so like the details of the power and what it is, what it does, etc. So and then in the extra margin here, I've just been penciling in stars for if I have a plan to use a power that I've currently penciled into one of my character boards. So that's kind of what I have there. Flipping on over, we have more dailies. And then we have Natasha with let me put you on hold. Flipping over to February now, similar setup. I have the special mission information here. We have Falcon, and then of course some of these are printouts, as you can kind of probably tell. If it's a matte, then it's a printout that I glued in, and then if it's shiny, then it's actually a vinyl sticker. And if you're wondering, I got the Avenger stamp, like this stamp. I don't know if you can see it very well on that page because I used the blue ink there, but that stamp that you see in here throughout, I got that on Amazon. Avengers logo stamp. There's also a Captain America shield one. There's an Iron Man one, I think. There's a few others on Amazon there. I just tried to limit myself since I got so many stickers. I tried not to get a bunch of stamps too. So, special mission information, Falcon. And I chose on your left. And then we have Shuri. And then we have I'm sure you did your best as her quote. Rhodey, we have this is going to be a good story. And then we have our monthly log. I still stuck with task list this time. We have a little Rhodey over here. And clearly this is a bunch of extra space. So in the case that I needed scrap paper, sometimes I would actually come in and use these kinds of extra bits here for scraps. Or as you've seen like with this, originally I just put the sticker and then I came back and added in lettering since I had extra space. So I'll do stuff like that throughout the journal as I go. So I might add in a quote or something to do with Rhodey in here at some point. Just whenever I'm, you know, feeling like doing some bullet journaling, that's usually when I'll do kind of this kind of stuff. If I've, you know, already caught up on sketching out my next monthly or whatever, but I feel like doing some journaling or whatever while I watch some YouTube videos or whatever, then that's when I'll come in and I'll do stuff like that. I'll find some quotes or pick out some ideas of things that I want to do or whatever. Okay, so then another pensieve, which again, I used this extra space for some extra things. So I had some stuff I was waiting on from somebody I purchased from, Pearl Chic, from my friend Kiana. She used to work with Pearl Chic. Now she works with a different company, but the rings that I'm wearing today are from her. And I had some stuff I was waiting to come in, so I was writing down what I ordered. So I wrote down what colors went with what pieces as well, so that if she had a question she wanted to double check with me, then I had it written down what I had planned to put which pearls I wanted to put in which set in which jewelry pieces, so that I knew what I had coming in, just to make it a little bit easier. And then we have my media tracker. Then we have my handwriting, and this time around I decided to start focusing in on words that I tend to question myself on or that I tend to misspell, because everyone has specific words that they write. They just always stop and have to think about it really hard. For me, one of those is the word vacuum. I always want to spell vacuum with 2 C's and 1 U. And so it drives me nuts. So I started changing this a little bit to fit a dual purpose, and so I started like listing some words up here, and then I used the space and I just rotated through the words, practicing writing them nicely well, honestly, this isn't even nice. It's just still rushed, but at least trying to spell them right at this point. And then my tracker, which again, I have been terrible about filling out. And honestly, I've had a rough year as far as getting consistent with things. It's been a time. Okay, so then I tried a new setup for my daycare class, for my preschool class. Yeah, still wasn't loving it. So then I changed my daily headers to be the bar across again. I used to do this and I liked the fact that it cleaned it up just a tiny bit, because it kind of gave more of a sectioning look to the page. So I felt like it gave it a clean look. And I do like it. If I do dailies, I do like it, but you know, I like to change it up every once in a while. But I mean, this is one of my preferred headers, I would say, because of how clean it makes everything. So then we have a little Hawkeye, and I got this one. He is so cute. All right, so then we have a cute little falcon. And so at this point, I just noticed this, happened to look at this header. I don't know why I looked at it, but I did, and I'm kind of laughing because we had some snow days in February, and it turned out being a whole week worth of time, and I struggled so much towards the end of that because I was like, I need purpose, I need something to do, and I'm running out of things to do. So I was struggling during that time, man. Okay, so then we have the 24 and 48 readathon, which this was the boss battle for Battle Stain, that's right. So I kind of did a spread. I have an Iron Man here. I wrote which books it was, and then I did a key so that when I was marking it in here, all I had to do was put which books fit. And then I did like my check-in, what time, and then notes about the book itself and like what I experienced whilst reading it, thoughts about my reading experience in general. So yeah, and then the rewards as well. But yeah, I really liked this spread. It was pretty useful, to be honest. I kind of think I should do one kind of like this again for the next time around, or for another time. But yeah, I put what time it was as well as how many hours I'd been reading, because that was relevant to the thing. Okay, moving on. All right, more dailies. Roadie. This is where I started to use, I had this extra page here because this was, I had a few days where I didn't use my journal, and so I ended up with this extra space where I had 2 pages for dailies that I didn't use. I only used a half of one page, so I started making a list of words that I misspell frequently, or words that I think I might be misspelling that I want to quiz myself on to see if I actually do know how to spell it, and I'm just, just checking for safety reasons. Like words that are commonly misspelled, like withhold is commonly misspelled. I don't know if I've been spelling it right or wrong when I'm writing it down quickly, so I want to, just quiz myself every once in a while. So I'll actually use my phone and record the voice record myself saying the thing, and then I can go back and play it back later on, like after it's been a while, so I don't remember what it looks like off the top of my head, and I have to actually know how to spell it to do it right. So I've been working my way through these, and so if I had a system basically, like if I get it right enough, then if I get it right on my page a few times, then I'll exit off, and then, or if I get it right during that month, then I'll exit off if I get it right the first time when I do my monthly page. You'll see what I mean when I'll come back to this. I'm just gonna throw my bookmark in here so I'm gonna come back and explain this and how it works when I get to that part of my monthlies. Okay, so in March we had the Tesseract for our special mission. We had Spider-Man. This is my chance to prove myself. We have Rocket and Groot, which of course is you're making me beat up grass, and I am Groot. Well, actually this is I am Groot. That's the particular I am Groot it is, but you know, it's fine. Then we have Lady Sif, which I have not completed. This is the first board we saw Shuri, and I haven't finished hers yet either, but so this is the second one that you've seen that I have the pencil markings for. But her quote is, I am rock and wheat and fire and ash. Let me try that again. I am rock and wheat and fire and ash, born a goddess, forged a warrior. I really wish that I had stickers for her, but I didn't even have a single sticker, which is unfortunate because she's a hottie. Okay, so we have my month log. How I use my month log is to write in things that are upcoming, scheduled tasks, events, and appointments type things. My pensieve, I moved back up here. Instead of doing a task list, I put my pensieve up here again. And then I have a little Rocket and Groot, baby Groot, and I put Sweet Rabbit. I felt like it really went with the art style to say Sweet Rabbit with this one. Then I have my media tracker, and then I have my word work is what I started calling it, because I was working on my words, spelling them, and also my words writing them. So I just started calling it word work. So what I did was I went through this list in order. So day 1 would be this, day 2 would be that, day 3 would be that, and I went down in order through the list. So at this time I was actually having to flip back and see what the word was, so then I would see how to spell it, so then I couldn't actually be quizzing myself to see if I could spell it right off of memory at first. So it was working to practice spelling it, writing it in the right order, but it wasn't working in seeing if I remembered it correctly in the first place. So I improved it as I went a bit more. So then we went to just a single page for daycare stuff, and my habit and task tracker. Alright, then we have dailies and a baby Groot. More daily, or no, Vaultathon round 6 spread. Ta-da! And a Spidey, which I put Spider-Man specifically because both of these books that I read, with the Fire on High that was the group book and that I read during the readathon, went for Spider-Man's board. So right, more dailies, another Spider-Man. Oh, we're using our made-up names? He's so cute. Alright, then we move to April. We got Loki's Scepter. We got Scarlet Witch. I can't control their fear, only my own. Okay, so then we got Bucky. Not bad for the end of the world. So, this page right here is my team. So I started needing to I wanted to keep track of who I had and how many Avengers I had acquired. So I have a running list right here, and then I also have these sticky tabs that I have to kind of keep organized with what I've uploaded videos for, what I have finished and haven't, or what I have filmed, what I have finished the board, and I filmed my wrap-up or my recent reads video for that board. And then these are the ones that I have finished but I haven't filmed yet. So I have it like divided out into the 3 post-its so that I can keep organized with what I've actually talked to you guys about, so that I, don't get myself mixed up, because I was doing that a bit. So this will help me just a bit. If it has the silver washi, it's because I wanted to be able to reference it easily. So my powers and my team both have that silver washi. And then the monthlies have the washi on the side, so that when I'm looking at it from the side, I can find monthly pages and kind of see the division of each month, and like see which months took up the most space, and contemplate as to why, just for fun. Okay, moving on, we have my monthly log. At this point, I was penciling in. I do this a lot, pencil in my video plan. That way, if I end up changing my plan, I can adjust it as I go by erasing, and then I write it down. I erase it and rewrite it in pen once it is fully done, like published, or at least scheduled. So then my pensieve again. Here's a little Iron Man. He's not my favorite Iron Man sticker, but he's there. All right, so then we have my media. This side I did daily notes, which is kind of more of a journaling style thing. I just kind of had extra space, so this is what I ended up doing with it. There wasn't a strong desire to have this back. Like, as much as I like the idea of doing these, I'm not, like, I'd rather just get consistent with long form journaling and have it in a separate notebook. Like, that's just me. Like, as much as I love the idea of having my bullet journal and be part journal, and I don't know how to explain that. Man, all the filming of these videos plus teaching has gotten my voice tired. So then we have my word work page. Obviously, I fell off the wagon towards the end there. I don't know if this was the point where I started the new thing or not. We'll talk about it on the next time. My tracker, and then we have I put Falcon and Cap together, obviously. But I said, I put like a little quote, "Friendship is the glue that holds the world together." No particular reason, I just felt like it needed a friendship quote. Good old Scarlet. Well, sometimes good. Alright, this is the Battle of Loki. And I decided to do this just as a running log, where I wrote in whatever happened at the times, because I knew at times, but I didn't know which things were going to end up being the two that you could choose from. Pick one of the missions. I didn't know which 2 mission options you were going to have. So then I just put the time and then pick one of 2, and then I wrote 1, 2, and I wrote them down, and then I highlighted the one I picked, and then I wrote in advantages, and then wrote in the notes and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. You get the point. And then I put a Loki, and I just put, "Tell me!" Because, like, if that part of the movie of Thor does not give you feelings in your soul, then I don't know what does. I got everything covered up this time. Alright, flipping over. So we have Hulk, and he says puny god. And then we have the happy board, which I had to cover up the prompts for. I don't think it's a big deal that you can see the reward, but the quote that I used is, "I'm not letting you go," or the quote that I used is, "I'm not letting you go in there alone." Alright, flipping over, we have May. So, okay, I needed a breathing break. Okay, I'm good now. We've got Coulson, "Who do you become?" Star-Lord, sometimes the most unlikely heroes turn out to be the most heroic. Gamora, what did it cost? Month log, Pensieve still doing the same way. We got Black Widow, baby. Hawkeye. It's the comics style. So at this point, I moved my word work actually to use the additional space in my tracker, and it wasn't the worst idea. because that way I was using a little bit less space. I was spending a little bit less time on it. It was a smaller number of times that I was writing the word, so it was a little bit better. So this is, I think, when I started doing this new method. So what I did was I recorded the words so that I wasn't looking at them. So I would write the word and then I struck it out if I did it wrong. And then I would write it and then I would strike it out if I did it wrong. And then I would write it 3 times or 2 times if I couldn't fit 3 in their correct spelling. But I would write it first. I would write my word and then I would flip back and I would check the spelling and then I would finish the rest of the row based on if I got it right or wrong. Now if I got it right, then I got to put an X. And then at the end of the month, I just went through all the ones that I had X'd off and I quizzed myself. And if I can quiz myself and still spell it right, then I know I'm confident in that word spelling. And if I know I can quiz myself and not question it. If I still am uncertain about it, then I'll go ahead and leave it on there without highlighting it off. So yeah, that's what I was doing. I haven't been keeping up with this lately, the past couple months, but I like the idea of it. Just things got a little bit crazy, so I kind of dropped off the wagon on it. I would like to go back to it, I think. It's very helpful for me to work on, vocabulary things because I like to be more eloquent and accurate in my linguistics in my language use. So I know nobody else would really take the time to do this, but I just want to be better at spelling everything. I want to spell everything right, have the perfect way of describing and using definitions accurately, being able to, use a word the correct way or tell people what a word means when they don't know. I just like to be that person. So I want to improve in these ways so that I can do that. Alright, dailies, I changed my header up to just using my black pen and I just used some kind of lazy cursive and I just looped it up at the top and drew a line. I just looped up at the Y. Yeah, every time. And then I just put the number of the day. We got a little Gamora action going on. That's when things changed. I switched to dailies. Or I switched from dailies to a weekly. And I switched it in such a way that it kind of was the best of both worlds. The way that my job is, I started, thinking, I kind of have not been using dailies in a way that, I need that much space for each day. So what if I just wrote a space to put in scheduled activities and then had a rapid log on the other side? So it's just a running rapid log and I've divided it in 2 so I have all this extra space to work with. So I'm not wasting a bunch of space because I don't often need the whole row to write a task, and if I did need more room I could just go to the next line, but this gives me 2 columns that gives me much more room to write in. So I ended up doing these boxes for dailies, or these, for daily tasks, events, appointments, or anything that needed to be scheduled kind of. This extra little space I used for a quote. This one I decided to use, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know how this machine works." That's a good one. Oh man. Alright, so then I had just had a rapid log that was running throughout the week. And I have to say I really like this setup. It's been working really well for me. We have this really, really cool Star-Lord as well. He has his cape, or his coat, his trench coat has all of the other Guardians kind of in it. It's kind of cool. Flipping over, we have the next daily, or the next weekly, and then we have He's Adopted and a Thor. Moving over, we have June. Of course, we have the Walkman going on. We have Loki, Trust My Rage, Valkyrie, warriors create themselves. Then I ran out of room on my powers page, so I had to extend it to a new spread. I do have this post-it where I kind of pencil in the upcoming ones that I don't have yet because I haven't completed their board or whatever, and then I'll add them in pen on the page once I actually acquire the power. Moving on, we have the monthly log and my pensieve. This is actually old stuff from work, not my daycare job, not my preschool teaching job, my other job where I sell coffee. But yeah, we have Iron Man. Flipping over, we have my media tracker and Captain America hanging in there, and then we have the tracker and word work page. Another weekly. Never dropping that, by the way. And War Machine on there. And then we have Rocket on here. Well, now I'm standing. Happy we're all standing now. A bunch of jackays standing in a circle. I am Groot! Spider-Man. Alright, now we're into July. So obviously, a lot of times it'll be just that simple as having the character boards. You can see the routine. I start the monthlies. I have my character boards. Let me flip back through that month. It's really pretty much the same kind of thing. I have my monthly intro page with the special mission. I have my character boards in. If I have an extra page here, then I'll come back and use it when I have extra things that I need to, if I need to add in another collection, that's when I'll come back to use these pages. So whenever I have that extra space, I just leave it blank until I have a purpose for it. So in this case, I ran out of room on my powers page, so it became an addition to that. So then I have my month log, and then I have basically it's a brain dump page. I just don't like that phrase, so I just use something else, just call the same thing. Then I have my media page, and then I have my tracker, and then I have my weeklies, and my weeklies. And that's it. That's my monthlies. That's my month. That's my journal these days. It's literally just that. It's my monthlies, my character boards, a log, a media tracker, a tracker, a pensieve, and weekly pages. There you go. Anyway, July, we have Captain Marvel. I have nothing to prove to you. Still need to print this out. I keep forgetting. And I wrote the wrong stone as well. It's supposed to be the reality stone. My bad. Wait, no. No. This one is Space Stone. Next month is Reality Stone, which I also need to print. Alright, we have Captain Marvel. And then we have T'Challa. I never yielded. So this was a packing list. I would love to make a video on how I make my packing lists at some point because it is brilliant. I have a color code system. It's brilliant and it's amazing, and I'm very proud of my genius. Okay, so then this is the monthly. Of course, I'm filming this in July, so my bookmark is here. And then I changed the word this time to be think tank. There was no particular reason other than I think I actually just put a T here for some odd reason. Actually, I don't really know why I changed it to think tank. It was just what came out, and so that's what I used this month, and I used it the next month as well. I don't know if I'm gonna actually change it or if I'm gonna, stick with this. I don't know. Who knows? There's another falcon. Media tracker had some extra space, so I added a Scarlet Witch. I might add a vision somewhere and do like a quote about romance. Okay, flipping on. Alright, so this time around I actually had my sticker over here, but I moved it because then I had the brilliant idea of doing both of my readathon things for the readathons that week. Just stick them right here and not do a full spread this time around because I was so busy. Because based on the packing list, you may guess, I was leaving to go somewhere. My dad's wedding, to be exact, which was in Florida, which was 8 hours away from here. And we were going to be gone for a week. So your girl did not have the time to really spend setting up a spread because I was too busy taking time for myself on the beach, which I have. It was the first time I'd been to the beach in 12 years. Okay. So don't judge me. I don't care if you do anyway. Captain Marvel. This is a really cute one, actually. I like it. But I just scooted her over and used the extra space to just kind of, at the top, for Vaultathon, all I did was put some dots, and then when I started a book, I wrote it in. So whichever books I completed, I would then put an X, and then an X. I did complete The Sound of Stars. I forgot to exit. I put an X on it. And then for Ultron, I just wrote in when a challenge came up, I wrote it in as a dot. When I acquired an Avenger, I used the circle to put it in. If I used them, then I put an X. I didn't keep this exactly up to date, so I didn't end up marking everything off like I should have. And then I used a dash to mark when I used, I used a dash to make any notes about how I used their power if I needed to write a note to remind myself like what I did. So that way it's kind of messy, I know, but it worked and it made more use of this space, to be honest, because I didn't have a lot of tasks other than run like the wind and try to do everything this week, because everything was more scheduled for me than individual tasks that I could write down. It was just like, do all the things, don't even take time to write it down. Oh man. All right, flipping over, then we have this weekly, which I meant to leave an extra page for the next week, but I forgot to. So when I made my August pages, after the fact I realized, oh, I didn't leave my extra page there. Well, so I just divided these boxes. I forgot to mention that at some point when I was focused in on work with my coffee stuff, I did this really cool thing with these pages, with these extra boxes, the extra space in my boxes when I don't have, okay, well, I used the extra space to actually track some stuff for my work, so I just made some like boxes to fill in my host-to-post stuff and my messaging stuff. So that's just work-related things for my my side business. So yeah, I used that extra space a little bit. Well, I haven't been focused on that business lately because of the changes in life. I do want to get back to focusing in on it. So I used the extra space instead, since I wasn't using it for work things. I'm just going to use this bottom half for this week, and then I just drew a line, and the rest of this space is going to be for the rest of this week. We got a little Black Panther up in here. So yeah, I'm just gonna make it work. It's fine. We're gonna flip over to August, which I have set up. So I haven't put in my item here, but we have my Ant-Man board, Baskin Robbins always finds out. I could not find a good serious quote that was actually said by Ant-Man. Not like a really good one. Maybe there were a few, but I couldn't find any off a quick search, which is unfortunate, but because of that, I just decided to go with Baskin Robbins always finds out. Alright, so then we have Doctor Strange. Faith is my sword, truth is my shield, knowledge is my armor. Vision, we have our very strength invites challenge. He has a lot of really good quotes, but I wanted to focus on one that was more about a team. That's what I kind of tried to focus these character board quotes on, was more like inspirational quotes that had to do with their power as a team and stuff like that. Oh, my battery's flashing at me, so I better wrap it up. So then I have my monthly log, which I haven't filled in yet. My think tank, which for some reason I still called it that, even though I don't know if I like it. And then I have my booktube beta penciled in. So I basically have blocks for each day. I did accidentally miscount. I have an extra space on the side, which I've used for ideas, and then a key for my coding. So I've penciled it all in. And then on top of the number, which is in the bottom corner, is where I track what I've done on the video. So if I've partially filmed it, it's a dot. If I have fully filmed it, then it's a circle. If I have partially edited it, then it is a circle that is half colored in. If I have fully edited it, then it's a fully filled in circle like that. If I have done the thumbnail, then it has a star beside that. Beside that number, I mean. If I have scheduled it, then I put an X over it. And then if I have completely finished the video, then I actually write it. If it's been both scheduled and then gone public, then I will, once each video goes public, then I'll erase the pencil and write it in pen as a permanent, okay, this video is up. There's no changing it at this point. There's no deleting the scheduled post and shifting it around. So there's that. A quick look. I'm trying to do this fast because it's flashing at me. I thought about changing the battery, but then I was like, no, there's 2 bars. It'll be fine. All right, media tracker, and then my tracker. This time I decided to use the extra space to put a box I'll put a sticker in and a quote or something like that. But I just wanted to like clean it up just a little bit since I was doing this little star theme. I just wanted to put the box to keep it a little bit cleaner so that the quote and the center markings didn't or the center design didn't mush together. So that's everything. I haven't done next monthly or next weekly. So then we have pen testing page and my very barren post-it dashboard, which I need to refill. And then we have my Snap and Thanos, and in my pocket, which has a blotting paper. Oh, a note that I need to take care of. My upcoming stickers. So I have like a system, an order system to how I'm putting in stickers throughout that are not the character board stickers. But I'm not going to go into that. But I just keep a zippy bag of some stickers that I can use when I feel like it. And then I have some note cards for when I want to write a thank you note or a hello note or whatever. And that, my friends, is everything. That is my bullet journal so far this year. So you can see I consistently have plans to make it super pretty, and then as I'm doing the making it pretty, I get lazy. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great goodness. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, whatever time it is for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below. And I will see you guys tomorrow with another beta video. Peace out, Bear Scouts. Can you tell I've been with 3-year-olds all day?
About your worries and your stress. I need a bare necessity. That's why a bear can rest at ease with just the bare necessities of life. Yeah, with just the bare necessities of life.